What's going on, guys? Chris Marvel Buff Nerd here with my little co-host baby. If you like my setup and you like what I do here, feel free to hit the little subscribe button and notification bell here on YouTube. This is going to be my just quick thoughts and review a little bit on the first episode of Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I just got done watching it literally just a second ago. It's about 4 in the morning. I just watched that, and then before this, I watched the Zack Snyder cut of Justice League and then did like a 45-minute video for that. So it's been a long night. Yeah, the new episode's called The New World Order, and we find ourselves picking up with Sam Wilson right after the events of Endgame, pretty much, and everything. Um, we see him in a like a black, he's dressed for like a funeral proceeding, it looks like, and I assumed that it was Tony Stark's funeral. But then we have a scene where Sam is surrendering the shield to the government, basically, and he has this whole, they do this whole fancy um, reading off cards, like a ceremony where he surrenders the shield back to the government, and he has this big speech where he's saying, oh, the shield, belongs here with, it belonged to Steve, so now it belongs here in this museum because it's not really mine, it was his. Okay, we're back. And he's talking about the shield and how it's not his, so it needs to be surrendered to the government, basically. And you can kind of tell that as he's saying these words, reading off these cards, basically this teleprompter, and after the ceremony, you can kind of see the pain in his eyes, like he's saying these things that he doesn't really mean, but his hands are tied. And we see Rhodey there, Don Cheadle's here, so we already have another character from the universe here. And Sam surrenders the shield, and then afterwards, there's some, suit and tie kind of, bureaucratic guys that are like, hey, Sam, thanks for coming in, surrendering the shield to us. It was the right decision. It belongs here. We're going to retire it. And so, right off the bat, you're already kind of like feeling some ulterior motives. And if you've seen the trailers for the show, you obviously know that there's ulterior motives. But the seeds that they plant for that were nice and subtle, but all also apparent. Like this is gonna go somewhere, obviously. So they take the shield away from him on the pretense that oh, we just want to put it in the museum for Steve Rogers. And he says that Steve's gone in this. So I guess we're supposed to interpret it that Steve Rogers is dead in this show. I think I'm not 100% on that. It's he said he was gone, but then he went when he was talking to Torres, when Torres was asking about him, he was kind of just playing it coy. So I'm not 100% sure on that. But then we pick up with Sam goes back home to New Orleans with his sister, where they run like a family business that their parents had with like a shrimp boat kind of deal, something like that. And he's going to try and get things back to normal, but he was gone for 5 years because he was snapped, and his sister and her two kids, his nephews, they were still here. So even though he was gone and couldn't be there to help his sister, he she was still going through the crap, going through the trials and tribulations of the blip. So that's where we're kind of picking back up with Sam. He's going back home to New Orleans to do things with his sister and try and get things going and get their lives back, on track. We had a cool badass action scene where he's falling out of like a cargo plane and flying through the air and kicking people's asses. The action's really good in this. The new technology he has where like his wings can turn into a shield, protect him from gunfire. Red Wing is really cool in this. Sam did like a cool hit where like he had a guy and he like uh, turned on his jetpack and zoomed forward and like drug the guy when he was zooming and nailed the guy into like a wall or a tub or something, knocked the guy out. So some really cool, hard-hitting action here. Then we pick up with Bucky. Bucky's having a flashback to when he was on a mission, killed a bunch of people in cold blood. Well, and then the last person he kills, kind of was extra cold blood, where this guy was just kind of trying to get away after everybody else was dead, and he was trying to open up this door, but he's freaking out. He's so scared that he can't get his hands to work. He can't get the key in there. And Bucky just goes up and blatantly just gonna point blank kill him. And then we see Bucky wake up out of his dream, and he's now the current version of James Buchanan Barnes, where he's got short spiky hair and he wears gloves everywhere. And jacket and gloves everywhere. Blames it on a circulation problem. That way nobody can see his Winter Soldier arm because he doesn't want people to know who he is. And so he cut his hair to appear different and be a new person going forward. And he's in therapy actually, uh, because his therapist is like, hey, you don't talk to anybody else. You're 106 years old. You can't be alone like this all the time. The government's got to know you're not going to go crazy again. So you've got to talk to me. And there's some funny back and forth with this therapist because he's not talking at all. So then she starts writing on the notepad, and he's like, oh, the notepad. It's so passive aggressive. And they have this really fun back and forth where he knows that she's good for him and that he needs to be there and talk to her, but he doesn't want to. And I've been to therapy before, and I haven't been like that with my therapist, but like I get it, it's hard to open up and accept and say like you have these faults and stuff. So like it's playing on some real world issues, but it's funny how they can kind of give it some levity and lighten it up. But you're also seeing, this dude is, he's having some fallout from all this stuff he's done. Like he's like, this is the only calm I ever had was in Wakanda, and it was a short calm. And other than that, I've been fighting for 90 years. It's just been one fight after another for the past 90 years of my life. I'm tired of it. I need some time to breathe and even know what I'm supposed to think in my head. So, these guys are just trying to get back to some resemblance of normal life, just like everybody in the post snap world. Just like we saw in WandaVision, where Wanda's trying to get back to a normal resemblance of life and stuff. Everybody's just trying to get back to a normal resemblance of life here. And so we have all this character building, which I did not anticipate this show was going to have so much character moments, but like most of this episode was character and building on world and whatnot, which was great. And then right at the very end, we have Sam and his sister together, and they can't get a loan in town for them to save the business right now, and he's feeling down and out. And then his sister rushes in, and she's like, "You've got to see this, Sam. You've got to see this." She turns on the TV, and I already kind of had a feeling. I was like, this is gonna be where they take Captain America away from him." And sure as shit, we get some bureaucratic dude coming out spouting all these words about how it's a new age and it's a new dawn of we need new heroes and America needs a hero to defend America. And here's your new Captain America. And so they had Sam surrender the shield and bring it back on this whole bullshit false pretense that they just wanted to leave it in the museum because it was time to leave that kind of a hero and character in the dust and move to more progressive heroes and characters. When no, in reality, they just didn't want Sam Wilson to have the shield. They wanted Agent John Walker to come out and have the shield. And I know U.S. agents from the comics and whatnot. I don't know him very well. I'm not a big fan of him. He's not my fucking Captain America. So right now, I'm kind of looking at him as the enemy because I'm not a fan. Because I think Sam Wilson should have the shield, and because I'm a Steve Rogers junkie. So I'm not a fan of this U.S. agent guy. He is played by Wyatt Russell, who's Kurt Russell's son. So I love the actor, but I just not a fan of the Captain America U.S. agent guy. Oh, you bastard! And he comes out and he's wearing a gun. I'm like, Captain America doesn't use a gun, bitch. Except for the very first movie for a quick montage, but it's a different version of Captain America that they're going to try and shove down people's throats. So that's obviously what's going to propel the show forward now. Now we're going to obviously probably go, for the next 5 episodes of this 6 episode series, Sam is going to fight back and call bullshit, throw the flag and try and get the shield back. I hope that's where it goes because he deserves a shield. Yeah, that shield means a lot of things to a lot of people, but it doesn't belong in U.S. Agent John Walker's hands in this show. That's for damn sure. So, guys, let me know what you think of Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Did it deliver what you wanted? Did it deliver more than you wanted? Like for me, a little bit more character and emotion and heart than I thought. A little bit more story to show just how human these superheroes really are. They ask some meta questions in here, like who pays you guys when you're doing all that, and just cool little banter like that, little audience questions that we would ask. But yeah, guys, let me know in the comment section down below. Like the video, subscribe here, hit the notification bell, follow me on Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, Patreon, all at Marvel Buff Nerd. Really appreciate it, guys. Until the next one, have a good one.